All right. Hi, one more time, everyone, for the last match of the day on day 3 of Alliance Tournament 12. I'm CCP Rise here with Bacchanalian. We have Hydra Reloaded against No Holes Barred, and we have a very interesting pair of setups.
Well, it looks like Hydra's come back again with this artillery Sleipnir setup that they used so effectively last time. So 3 Sleipnirs, Scimitar, 2 Celestis, 3 Heretics, 2 Maulus, and Kitsune. So quite a bit of damping and a little bit of ECM power there as well. But No Holes Barred have come in with looks like a Tinker, and those artillery Sleipnirs may really struggle against this. So they've got a Paladin, a Vulture, 3 Helas, Moa, and a Tengu.
Yeah, so Noho here has done possibly an amazing piece of kind of meta work here by reading that Vargr Golem ban from Hydra as bringing a similar setup to last week, and clearly not wanting to be up against Marauder. And so they found a way to bring one. They brought a Paladin, and
just as I say that this might not work, that Hela loses its shields 100 to 0 and he's off the field. Okay, so much for that idea. Wow.
That didn't take long. We were like, they might have found like a really, really solid counter here to this kind of low DPS, heavy kind of E-War setup by bringing the Marauder, but nope, they're just getting decimated by Hydra here for some reason. One Hela down, second Hela down. Wow.
This is over before it starts. I mean, my goodness.
And I mean, as simple and sad as it may be, this could just be, you see the ECM there on the Tengu, it could just be Kitsune getting a jam on the Tengu and him having no ability to rep, even though his rep power is really strong, and that even in just 2 cycles they managed to take 3 healers off the field. So
wow.
Here we are all excited that there might have been a nice counter setup, but all that E-War paying off. Tengu still hasn't been able to get reps on anything. There we go.
Now you see reps on the Vulture. I wonder if it wasn't even ECM. Maybe he just stacked so many Scanres damps on it that it just couldn't manage to land locks on those healers early. I don't know, but he's got reps on that Vulture, and they're not getting through those reps. I mean, wow. So wow.
And the other bad news for No Holes Barred is on the other side. The Paladin so far hasn't been able to do anything to the Hydra team. He's making this Heretic sweat a little bit, but no big deal. And now the Tengu reps get turned off again by those jams, and he's local repping as he takes damage. But without the Hela DPS, No Holes Barred is in really bad shape. And Tengu gets another lock, puts those reps on the Vulture. There'll be a lot less cap transfer to fuel this Tengu's rep, so he may break eventually, but he's still getting cap transfer from the Paladin and the Vulture, and that Moa. So
something we've seen in the past is, ECM against Tinker just doesn't work. The sensor strength is so high on these Tech 3 logistics that the ECM never lands a jam. But in this match, it seems like we've seen it happen twice. What's going different? What has Hydra done differently, or what did Noho do wrong with their fit, perhaps?
Yeah, they may have done something wrong. It's hard to say. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the Scanres damps may have played a part. I mean, they killed that first Hela so fast that it may have just actually been before he was able to even lock the Hela, but he has had at least 2 successful jams since we've seen his reps go on and then go off again. And I don't know, maybe they didn't bring enough remote ECCM to keep his sensor strength high, or didn't bring local ECCM or something, but they clearly did something a little bit wrong here. And ECM just blew a hole wide open for them to kill those Helas off extremely quickly. And now it looks like Tengu tank might be breaking. I don't know. It hardly matters now. They just don't have the DPS to do anything to Hydra at this point.
Yeah, it's really incredible. I mean, we've seen so many Tinkers, and we've seen so many Tinkers go up against heavy ECM teams. And when you think, oh, this is over, they brought, see in SCL, we've seen like a Rook, Rook Kitsune Griffin setup go up against a Tinker and get just absolutely destroyed. And so we see one Kitsune here manage to land 2 jams on a Tech 3 logistics and a Tinker. It's just really incredible.
And at this point, it might not actually even need to be jams. The Tengu is using a lot of cap trying to keep his own tank up, so he may just be turning off the reps on the Vulture to save cap so that he can run his own tank. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that jams played a role here, at least some early on. Yeah, and just even though they're having a hard time now with the tank, they just can't do anything No Holes Barred. They lost more than half their damage in those Helas, and they have no other way to attack Hydra. They obviously can't put any E-War pressure of their own, and so Hydra's just sitting comfortable waiting for the tanks to break.
Yeah, in fact, asking in local, can you just let us kill you, please? This is going to take too long otherwise.
Taunting people 4 minutes into a match after.
Right? Just the confidence of Hydra coming into this. And having flown with a couple of these guys in a tournament, they're just so cool, calm, and collected. You go into a match against something that on paper might counter them. Oh, that Mollusk into half structure. Somebody got some damage applied there. That Vulture taking quite a bit of damage. But they don't look at it as a counter. They just look at it as how do we win this match. It's not even a question of we can't or we can. It's how do we do it? Let's do it. Execute. Vulture is down.
Yeah, Vulture down. That's another big blow for No Holds Barred. And I mean, another thing is, even though this is a really clever counter, you have to think that a team that invests as much time as Hydra has practiced against this kind of setup. I mean, Tinkers are prevalent enough and Marauders as well. While they're banning Marauders, most people should read that as not wanting to fight against Marauders. Maybe we should bring one. And so I have to assume Hydra's at least tried a matchup like this to get a feel for whether or not they would have a chance. And
well, we did see Hydra lose a Mollusk there, so Noho has that going for him. They took one ship off the field. But down to the Tengu and a Paladin. The Tengu, yeah, he's into armor now. It looks like he is going to go down. I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to make a dent in that Paladin. I guess that's the real question.
There goes the Tengu, and yeah, now Paladin left. And they might not. They might struggle a bit. The Paladin, really, you need neutralizers, cap neutralizers to wear that tank down, usually. And they shouldn't really have many of those, I wouldn't think. They really want to be at range with this Slipner team, the Artie Slipner team. But I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so in locally, the Tengu pilot just said "holy damps" in all caps, so implies to me he may simply have just been damped out so hard he couldn't lock anything in time. Paladin half armor, my goodness. Okay, there we go. He pulled it. Okay. I was wondering. He was just waiting for it because he was taking an awful lot of damage.
But, yeah, I mean, I wonder, like, if just the scan res would be enough to keep him from locking, it'd be interesting to find out. I don't know if they'll end up talking about it, but
or perhaps lock range. I mean, I don't think you can. The stacking penalties. You can't get a Tengu much under 10 kilometers, if I remember right.
Yeah, exactly. And they of course all started right next to each other, so I'd be really surprised if lock range was a limitation. But yeah, I mean, maybe if they push his lock time up to 15 or 20 seconds on those helas, I don't know if that's possible, but that's all they needed. I mean, they killed those helas in probably the first 10 seconds of the match, so maybe that's all it took.
Right. Paladin.
They do have those molluses, especially if they sensor boost the molluses, they can lock extremely quickly. So it should only take them half a second or something to apply the damps. And then they have some window there where they can do damage. But I don't know. Be interesting to find out. And yeah, they're just working away here at the Paladin. He's tanking without too much effort, it looks like. So unless he goes into some kind of reload either on his AAR or on a local cap booster, he should be able to tank through this match no problem.
Well, I gotta say, it's been an afternoon of exciting matches. This one didn't turn out to be quite as exciting as we thought it was going to be. We really did have a thought that this might be a closer match than it was, but
yeah, Fozzie was bopping all around over here, pretty excited that we might see Hydra out, even though PL let us down after almost going out into the losers bracket. But
well, and RVB's match. I mean, both those matches were really spectacular matches. Just the kind of excitement we want after a couple slow matches early on and then ending on a slower note here. But we really had some really firecracker matches earlier in the afternoon. So it's been quite an exciting day of tournament. And tomorrow we go on to the losers bracket, I guess. So
yep. And I mean, one really exciting thing about where we're at with this tournament right now is it seems like the meta is really wide open. There's obviously a bit of a lean towards drone heavy setups, but even within those, we see a lot of variation in terms of what kind of logistics people choose, how they lay out their composition in terms of the main core ships, using anything from EOSs to Ishtars to Helas, Vexers, all kinds of stuff. And then the support also has changed a ton. We're seeing heretics and flycatchers and a range of different frigs. So I feel like the next couple of weeks should be really exciting as people continue to kind of polish the strategy in this meta and see kind of what's going to be strongest as we get towards the finals.
The other thing to think about is we have teams today who are not facing elimination, right? This is a winner's bracket. These guys can afford to lose a match and still continue. So it stands to reason that a lot of these teams are just going to come back with the same thing they won with last weekend. Or these teams are going to come out with a similar setup or follow the meta. This worked in the meta, let's use that, and then next weekend we'll reach into our bag to pull out our tricks. So we may not see until tomorrow where teams have backs against the walls, where a loss is you're going home, you're out of the tournament. That's when the teams, I think, are going to really start pulling out everything. I think those teams, if they haven't already lost their flagship, maybe considering fielding that. And whatever their very best setup is, I think, is what they're going to be fielding. So tomorrow we should see a lot of interesting changes to the meta, I think.
Yep, definitely. And then only more to look forward to after that as we start to, clean the bad teams out of the tournament. The matches usually tend to get more and more exciting. So Heading into our studio weekend, if you guys were expecting to see us all wearing dorky shirts and sitting around a desk this weekend, we're sorry to disappoint, but next weekend we'll have all the player commentators out here in Iceland, provided the volcano doesn't kill all of us. And we'll have a full studio set up. We'll be doing analysis or whatever it is we do between matches. So you guys can watch all that next weekend as things kind of get closer and closer to the end of the tournament.
Yep. So I did just get a number from a friend of mine on what damps actually do to a Tengu that's fit for logistics when it's trying to lock a Gila. Apparently 4 damps on a Tengu give it a 30-second lock time on a Gila.
Wow.
Allow those already slept just to power through all 3 of those Gilas before you ever had a chance to lock them.
Yeah.
Makes great sense, yeah.
That's so smart. There's plenty of time. I guess if you want to run Tinker, you need a lot of remote sensor boosting. Just even for your tiny little ball of ships. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Day 3 of Alliance Tournament 12 is over. We'll be back tomorrow for more matches in the losers bracket, and then we'll see you next weekend in the studio. So come back tomorrow for more, and thanks for watching.